again and welcome back. I'm finally getting around to it. Finally going to be able to look at the Asrock's x300. Now, I've actually had this ever since it came out, so I don't really have an excuse of why it's taking me so long. So much so, I actually now have two of these. Here's one. And here's the other one. So I've actually been using it for quite a while now. I had actually put it together before going on trip to Disney World. Was using this as a little gaming PC, movie media player while we were at Disney. Absolutely love it. It's actually now when we're not out camping, it actually sits in the living room now. Absolutely love it. You may notice, you may not be able to see it. Kind of missing something here now. So apparently, if you have a iExpand in there and this thing falls, you can bust that. Yeah, it just goes right inside the computer case. Just in case you needed to know. Because, yeah. So, yeah, it ended up completely crushing my iExpand, which had a bunch of my films on it and movies and some other jazz on it. Oddly enough, the computer still works. So I ended up buying a second one. And I plan on trying to make a video in the future about how to replace USBs in the future, and hopefully I don't screw it up. So, but the real point of this video is to compare it to the Asrock A300. I'm not really going to do an unboxing of it. All the parts in this are exactly the same as was on this, including your very own custom cup holder, I'm assuming. Because, you know, there's just so many places to put it. You know, I don't know, maybe they just want you to eat it. But, you know, whatever. So, like these are very, very similar. So, the first thing you're going to notice that is different is basically just the fronts. And that pretty much that's where the differences stop. So this one has a faux brushed look. It's still plastic. It does look better. I will say that it does look better than the A300. But even when you go onto the sides, so I have the punch outs for the additional USB 2 right here. Has the same here. Go around back. Quite literally the exact same stuff on the back. Got the punch outs for the Wi-Fi antenna, Bluetooth antenna. Still has power input, display ports, HDMI, DVI. Oh, excuse me, VGA. Forgive me. USB 2.0. And talk to it. USB 3.0, and then USB 2.0, and then gigabit Ethernet. Same thing on the other side. It's got spot for optional grommets. So when it comes with the grommets, you can put them on the sides. So if you wanted to lay it flat, I just like standing up. Vase mounts for the back side, so you can mount it, or a spot for an optional vase mount, so you can mount it to the back of the monitor or something like that. Now there is a little bit extra secret sauce in this, and I really don't know what the difference is. And talk about that. I'm gonna show you the PCBs or the motherboards themselves and show you what I see as the difference. Check that out. So here we have the motherboards side to side. Obviously the A300 and the X300. Now, I am no expert by any means in all this stuff. I wish I could send something like this off to BuildZoid to have a PCB analysis. To my untrained eye, everything pretty much looks almost identical. Even looking on forums, that is pretty much the consensus. The only thing that I can tell that is different is the BIOS chips here and here. And they are labeled with the BIOS that they were shipped with. P3.60 and P1.40. But I can tell you there is definitely a difference somewhere in these motherboards. Because with both of these motherboards running the exact same BIOS and the exact same CPU, this motherboard will not overclock the RAM. The only way to get the RAM to run at close to 3200 megahertz is to use RAM that has a JEDEC of 3200 megahertz. And I will put a description down below of a fellow YouTuber who found that out using this motherboard. Because the XMP profile on this motherboard with this BIOS will not work. Alright, so from my eyes, they look pretty much identical except for those BIOS chips. Granted, I'm not BuildZoid. I wish I could send the pictures off to him that do PCB analysis. Because I even read on forums what's the difference. But there definitely is a difference with the X300. I'll put a link down description down below where I put the same BIOS on the X300 onto the A300 with the exact same processor. And for some reason, I am not able to use XMP or do any kind of memory overclocking on the A300. So obviously there's something different going on in the motherboard. Like I said, I will be putting the description down below. A fellow YouTuber who found a way to run a 4650G with RAM running at 3200 megahertz. He had to buy special RAM the RAM ran at a JEDEC of 3200 megahertz, usually made by Crucial or HyperX. Other than that, I think for the important part, let's do some video games. So I've had many people ask me in the past, when they saw my videos about the A300. Which one would I recommend? If you're at a store for some reason and this one is in stock and you have the choice between the X300 or the A300, go with the X300. There's less fuss about have to try to do any kind of BIOS or anything like that with this. You're gonna be able to handle newer CPUs, and plus, I actually do like the facelift. I think it does give a little nice little look to it. So, next up, so I did an external GPU with the A300 using a 2080 Ti. Because this is all about hobbies, let's see what a 3090 Kingpin does to this bad boy. Let's check that out. Well, so I've been trying for a while now, trying to get the X300 hooked up to my Kingpin 3090. Sorry, my chair's awfully squeaky. I need to get it replaced. So I was going to try the ultimate test to try to really load this thing up. But I tried to hooking a 3090 Kingpin up to my X300, the one that's kind of hiding here in the background. I've tried everything. So I've tried my ADT link that I've had really good luck with in the past. I've got another adapter underneath it. I think it might actually be something to do with the CPU itself, or maybe it just doesn't like the 3090. I haven't even tried working with another graphics card. It works fine in my main gaming computer. I've tried DDU. I've removed all the drivers, started from scratch. I even reinstalled Windows with the 3090 attached. It worked for a couple days, but because I had restarted with Windows, I was trying to reload up all my games, and in the middle of the process of loading up all my games for testing, it stops working. Basically what it does is that it'll start working, and all of a sudden it'll either go to a black screen, or I'll get a no signal input on the screen itself. If I try to restart, it'll boot to just a bunch of lines across the screen. I've tried, so I have multiple different X300 motherboards now, and I've actually tried different motherboards. Same result. Cleared the BIOS. I've done everything I could possibly think of. Tried different power supplies. I've got a little Pico hooked up for the actual PCIe, hooked up to a server power supply. Anyways, I think long story short, I've put this video off long enough. Now that the AMD 5700G is out, so obviously the 4750G is probably not going to be as important to some people. So I think I just need to stop screwing around with it and put the video up. So hopefully I'll be able to return back to this and hopefully get it working. Yeah, I was really hoping I'll be able to get it to work, see how much of a bottleneck I was going to see. But I guess that's going to be saved for next time. So with that said, let's continue on with the video, and I'll come back to this later. Now, is there any point to freaking mounting a 3090 Kingpin to this bad boy? Absolutely not. Is it fun? Yes. And I think that's the best part about these small little builds. I absolutely love the form factor, as I said before. You know, I can't say enough about them. Yeah, for some reason I tend to I'm like on both ends of the spectrum. It's like I like small form factors and big cases. So yeah, I don't have an answer for that one. Yeah, I think that's all I got for this, you guys. If you liked it, let me rephrase this. I'm sorry that it took me so long to get to this video. I know it's taken forever. But hopefully you liked it. If you liked it, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I shall see you in the next one. Thank you.